So the next thing I said I was going to jump into was explaining naval formations and ranks along with that. All right, so here we are. Let's jump into it. All right, so for the Imperial Naval Fleet or Space Fleet, so we're talking naval or space forces at this point. So the Imperial order of battle started like this. You had a command, which is a single ship. That could be an Imperial Star Destroyer or a Raider class corvette, and that was held by differing ranks of Imperial officer. They formed a line of battle with a specific type of task. For example, would be attack or heavy attack or reconnaissance or pursuit or skirmish, etc. These lines of battle would form together to form a squadron, which is several different ships with several multiple tasks, numbered in the Imperial Navy 14 to 60 ships. Now a fleet was a combination of several squadrons with over 100 ships. Now a group, such as a sector group, would be multiple fleets in excess of 2,400 starships. Above the groups were your regional, over-sector, and strategic command type formations. I would assume this is where the Moffs and the Grand Moffs probably commanded, as they are in Star Wars. It's a rank that I'm not sure there's a comparable to in modern day real life. So I tried to look at ranks in the Imperial Navy and try to compare it to ranks in the modern day Navy. And so there's something called petty officers and chiefs and master chiefs, and those are enlisted NCOs, and they appear to equate to corporals and sergeants as previously. They seem to keep the same ground ranks. Additionally, the U.S. Navy has ensigns and lieutenant junior grades, and I would say that probably equates to just lieutenants in their military rank structure. The next is commander. It seems to fill the place of a lieutenant, lieutenant commander, and commander in ranks in the U.S. Navy. And we know we had Captain Piet and Captain Nita, so we know they were both ranks of somebody commanding a Star Destroyer who was a captain in the Imperial Navy. I have come across this in Star Wars, but I'm not certain if it's canon, and that is the Commodore, which typically was in charge of a squadron in older Navy formations. It doesn't really equate to anything in the modern day, except maybe a Rear Admiral, lower half. We had Rear Admiral, Vice Admiral, Admiral in the modern day, and I think it's just an Admiral in Imperial ranks. Though we do have Grand Admiral Thrawn, and that might be equivalent to a Fleet Admiral. I'm not really certain there. I guess it could be the equivalent of a 5-star Admiral, 5-star General kind of thing. Next, I wanted to try to compare how the Imperial Fleet would be to, say, U.S. Naval Fleet or group or formations from around World War II into the Cold War. So when looking at these, it looks like our carrier strike groups, expeditionary strike groups, and battleship battle groups, which actually don't exist anymore, kind of compare to some of the groupings I think would be in the Imperial Navy. Now a strike or battle group in the U.S. Navy of that period of time would be effectively equivalent to an Imperial squadron. So when we're writing or listening to Star Wars, they should be using this kind of vernacular, these terms for describing naval formations. Basically, a carrier strike group from World War II through into the Cold War averaged somewhere around 9 to 13 ships. An amphibious assault or escort carrier, basically known as an expeditionary strike group, had between 10 and 12 ships. And then a battleship battle group, which we don't have anymore, had basically between 6 and 12 ships. I think this would compare to squadrons headed by one of 3 different capital class ships in the Imperial Fleet. Would be the older Victory class Star Destroyer. It had a lot of firepower if it didn't carry as many fighters and things as the Imperial. It's not as large, but it is very capable. Squadron would consist of between 14 and 22 ships that all supported it and for its particular mission. Next would be the Quasar Fire class cruiser class carrier, and I think that would consist of about 14 to 20 ships in its squadron. And the last would be the Imperial class Star Destroyers, both 1 and 2, very capable, very fast, very heavily armed, supporting a full attack wing which consisted of 72 fighters and accompaniment, plus some Lambda class shuttles and other materials, and almost 10,000 troops. Likewise, its squadron accompaniment would be between 17 and 28 ships that surrounded it. Now, of course, all these squadrons could be beefed up. They could be added to for particular missions, as it did say that squadrons could have up to 60 ships within them. If you'd like for me to explore some of these ships and equipment and how they would basically be used in combat, I can do that, but just let me know in the comments below. In the next iteration, I'll be looking at the fighter squadrons and how rank systems would be used in that, and how they'll be slightly different than normal ship commands, and how they might actually mimic ground army commands more closely.
Tell us what you think
in the comments below, and it would be awesome if you would like and share this to your friends. Bless you.